everyone, welcome to Teach Connect. Today we have Mrs Bindhu Madhavi with us. She's overall 22 years of academy and 12 years of experience as a teacher and 8 years as a principal in various CBSE, ICSE and state syllabus. Now today she is working with Lotus Lab as a vice principal, and apart from the academics, she has won various awards from the various institutions like FITZI, and with a successful career and with ongoing with multiple activities in her day-to-day life. So let's have a few tips and suggestions for her from her vast knowledge. Good evening, ma'am. Welcome to Teach Connect.
Good evening. Thank you.
Yeah. Ma'am, currently you're working with Lotus Lab as a vice principal. So,
yes,
so out of your experience, what kind of day-to-day challenges you face at the school when compared to the academics or when compared to the students' career? What are the main challenges you will be facing day-to-day, the frequent challenges you'll be facing with the children?
I'm facing many challenges from this generation, Sindhu. What because is when I at my age, when I am in the school, when my schooling is going on, we are very very fear to the teachers, and
Yes.
we are very respect to the teachers. We give most and utmost respect to the teachers. But
Yes.
nowadays, what is happening? Their attitude is totally different towards a person, not only towards the teacher, towards the person. Then they are taking in an easygoing also. In some situations, they are taking in an easygoing way. That is also we are facing a challenge from the student. It is also a challenge to a teacher to say that and to mold the student into it is not an easygoing way. We should behave like this. We have to give some morals to the students even also. Maybe it is not the student fault. It is not the student fault, I can say. Why? Because they have many temptations around them. At our age, we have only the entertainment is cinema. Now that now they are having everything in their hand, mobiles, internet, they are having everything. What not? It is a good and it is also bad. Yeah, we can say that the internet is a double-edged knife. It is a double-edged knife. We can use it to cut the apple, or and we can use it in a bad work and for a good work also. That is, we are facing it, that they are having so many temptations around them. So they are, we have to see that to overcome from those temptations and everything. It is a great challenge to a teacher or to the leader, to any person who are taking the academics. This is a very great challenge to all the academicians. Now, for that, we have to behave a friendly behavior. Before this, the teacher is used to behave like a teacher only. Nowadays, the teacher should have to behave like a second parent. It is totally a parenting. Schooling is also, the teacher has to behave like a parent.
Yes.
Like parenting is very, very important in schools. The teacher must be an actor. The teacher must be a parent. The teacher must be an all-rounder in all the matters. So, without an all-rounder, and especially when you are choosing this academic as an educator, you should be very passionate about the teaching. Without the passion, you should not come into this education field. For that only, if you have any, you should not see for the money, you should not see for the post, you should not see. You have to enjoy with the student. Automatically, the student will come to you, and he will also, the student also enjoy, he or she, whoever it may be. He will also, the student also enjoy with you. The enjoyment is very, very important while studying, while taking the studies. That is this one.
Yeah, because children nowadays are quite different when compared to the ancient times when we were studying. Actually, we used to be quite afraid of when a teacher is coming from there. We used to keep quiet in that area. We used to not. There's a pin drop silence from over there.
Right. Yeah. And we are afraid of asking any doubt or a question also.
Yes.
But nowadays,
Yes.
students are not like that. It is a good thing only. It is a good thing to clarifying their doubts without any fear, to come forward, any fear. But the attitude also changes. So much of attitude is there in students. That is all overcome by behaving an educator like a friend, like a parent. They have some physical, they have some mental emotions also there. When the pampering is very needed for them. Pampering is also very needed. They have so many problems because they are seeing everything in a big mirror, that we have a problem. This problem, very small problem also, very small thing also, they are looking into a big, like a big ocean, like, oh, I am in an ocean, I'm nowhere in the class. Like that, for small things also, they are using like a bigger one. So parenting is very, very important for an educator. She knows, or the teacher knows how to behave with the student. And the parents also, we have to counsel, especially to the parents, there is a need to give a counsel to the parents.
So, because they're magnifying the things all the way, that is the problem where the children are facing as well. And
yes.
Yeah. So would it be a part of an academics to teach minimum ethical values or moral values to the children?
Yes, ma'am. It should be. It will. In an NUP, this is the NUP 2020 is introduced that, but they are not saying it is an ethical. If you understand that, at first, in our ancestors' time, because in very before timings in 17th or 16th century like that, the children used to go for gurukulams.
Yes.
They, like a hostel only, there are. The full 12 years, whatever the learning period is there, education period is fully in the Gurukulam only. They have to wash their own clothes. They have to do all the work, the household work for the Guru. Everything will be done by them. Even the person comes from a richer area, even the person is in poor one, or in whoever it may be. Everyone are equal in that Gurukulam. So the same is taking like that in a modern way. The NEP 2020 is the same as in a modern way. Okay, everything is going in an activity. They learned everything in an activity mode only. Now also NEP 2020 also introducing in an activity way more. But the activities are different. But the same theme or theory is same.
Yeah.
So likewise, like that, we can mold a child in a friendship area, in an activity mode area, in an doing it in passionate. The educator must be in a passionate way. Like that child will mold, they will come in our lives. But patience is more important to the teacher also.
Yes, that was a major role actually. A teacher should play over there. And according to the foundation stage in NEP, what kind of activities would you introduce to students to understand the content with the help of experiential learning?
Okay. For example, if you take the primary section, we have to take them into the garden. First, we need to show how the coloring, how the in a green color only there are many types of many shades of color are there. So from that primary section itself, we have to make them in an experimental way of learning, in an activity base of learning. Okay. When we say that, we can say that when an apple throws in the air, it is coming down. How much it is the gravitational force, how much it is there, how it's there, how is the gravitational force is working. Everything is having everything in our ancestor time. I am saying the same answer. In our ancestor period, what are we doing in an experimental learning? The same experimental learning in a modern way we are doing it now.
Yes.
Okay. So there are at the time of, they used to say that we Doordarshan and Doordarshan is there. Shravanam is there. So many are there. Likewise, like we are using now phones. We are using like televisions. Okay, in a modern way we are doing, and we are giving much more information for them. by teaching them. They're taking them in an activity. They're learning them through an activity, teaching them through an activity. And especially the teacher has to learn from them. First, the teacher has to prepare everything. Experimental learning, teaching is nothing but a learning. So first teacher has to learn how to teach a student in an experimental way. Taking the student into the garden, showing so many shades of the colors, and taking the student into the excursions like field trip like, and doing so many activities in the lab. In a lab, how that battery is going to work, how are you preparing that battery, everything should be, if you do it in a practical way, the concept goes into the mind, into the student. So that experimental learning and experiencing of that also gives you a good concept into their mind, and it will never go. Even at their older age also, they remember that experiencing. Yeah, I experienced it. When you touch it, when you go for a sea water, if you have a sea water, when they go into the sea, they have salt water into that mouth. They feel it, they senses it, they experience it. When you go for a little shock has happened, it is an experience. When they see something is a spark, when they see the spark, how the sparks are working, how the spark is going, how the battery is working. So if they experience everything, that is itself is an experimental learning. And it is only the concept will go into the mind of the student. So likewise, experience is a good thing for a student to remember and for a long period.
Yes, because this concept was actually a wonderful map, because without the intervention of a teacher, child himself learns all the things out of his experience. He remembers it forever and ever actually. So he never forgets it. Yeah. Because the concept which we have taught today, if the teachers follow this, there will be no struggle between a child and a teacher to understand the things. The rapport becomes quite easier, because child learns to question how, when, what, and these all automatically comes into his mind through this way actually.
Yes, there is no need of asking also. He never get a question. Okay, the question is, what happened if we get shocked? What happened if we have some water into our salt water into our mouth? What happened if we get touch a smooth one, like what is a hard one, smooth one? Primary section children, which is a hard, which is a soft one, which is a smooth. Difference between the soft and a smooth. Difference between hard and harsh. Everything they will experience it. For that one, teacher has to experience first.
Yes.
Teacher has to experience it first. Automatically, it will get a very good answer to a student from the teacher.
Yes, because he himself reveals the answers as well out of his experiences. That was a great style. And when coming to the COVID has changed the lifestyle of many people, and also it impacted many lives including the children as well, when let maybe the career or whatever it is. So what 3 measures should be taken to mold a child as he is returning to the school after a long gap of time? It takes quite like effort to get back to his school time. So what the top 3 measures can be taken?
Okay, first of all, we should give a small activities where they get interest to study on the academics, not to study on the academics. So first, if they get an interest to go into the academics, then automatically the child will follow the study pattern. Okay, and when you go into the class, that one bright student will be there, and then one interestless student also there on studies. But one student is having a very great interest on studies, but the other student did not have any interest on the studies. Depends upon their environment at their home also. Some students may lose their interest on studies, on their academics. For that one, we should not disturb the interest of the clever one, and we should give the interest to the slow learner, or what we can say, the student who lost their interest on the studies. So for that one, the teacher need to do some exercises on that. Okay, when the teacher is going into the class after that COVID one, the teacher has to do some exercises at home. Okay, what are the activities to be done in the class? Take care of an interest students, and how to make a student to take interest in the studies. The teacher depends upon the teacher activities. The teacher has to work for only for 1 month. The teacher has to work little hard work is needed by the teacher only for 1 month. If she or he takes that interest into the student's mind, automatically every student will come into the line, and they will be in a community. The class itself is called as a community. Every student in that community will get interest.
Yes.
It depends upon the teacher. How is she tackling the teacher? How is she tackling to that particular student? Also depends on that. So the teacher has to do little hard work for 1 month.
Yeah, initially it has to be done. Later on, the children will be following the same things. Automatically, the things happen. They'll be on the same track. Yeah. And also, like, we'll see many children these days, like they'll be afraid of speaking to something, or they'll be shy feeling speaking to something, or putting their knowledge outside, or whatever it is, putting their questions. They'll be shy. So how would you, what are the traits to improve a child to come into the public talks, whatever it is, public talks, or giving the speeches, or whatever it is, these kind of activities to develop his communication? What kind of activities can be done over there to make himself free with the people?
Okay, that also depends upon the student to student. If one student never feels shy when he is taking into a public talk, for that one we have to assign them to a day-to-day topics and at regular frequencies to expose themselves to for example, in an assembly or in like an electrician, like those activities we can come. But there are some children where they feel very much shy, even they did not open their mind and even did not lift their head also. For those people, you should take them you have to call them personally and ask them to read the lesson first. If we ask them to say it in a speech, or if we ask them to give a paper and read it, they will never read it. Ask them to take the lesson reading is very, very important for them, because they have to open their mouth, because they have to open their head, because they have to open their thoughts or whatever it may be. Have to open it first. For that reason, we have to give them what they know, and what they're able to read it, and where they are very confident on that lesson or that part we have to take. If we tackle that part, automatically the student will get some confidence on that. Automatically the student gets confidence on that. So what is happening next time? Next one, and some little pampering is also very, very important. You did very nice. You are doing a good job. Pampering and praising is very important for those children who are very shy to come forward. So that gives some confidence to them. And later on, little bit more from the question to the lesson reading to the another type of reading, or giving a paper, or giving a storybook, or giving something to read, or giving like a one-line thought, or giving them to expose yourself, asking them to give some speech about 1 or 2 lines about yourself, like that, asking them first in the classroom, next later on into the group, next later on to the bigger group. Slowly the child will open himself.
Yeah, because the group discussions are the major important role in our life. Wherever we go, that is mainly important, because that was lacking today in today's children sometimes, because they speak whatever they know. But when compared to the
discussion, that group discussions also, in the group discussions also, these shy children will not open themselves. They follow the leader, or they blindly follow the other, who they are thinking that they are the best friend to them. They only follow to that friend only. but they never open their mind in group, open their thoughts also in the group discussions also. So for the children, you should take a special care and pampering and giving praising them, giving some rewards to them. Yeah, you did a great job. Yes, you have done it. Praising is very, very important. Pampering is very, very important. I already said that teacher is nothing but a parent. All the time the children are there in our school only, in our class only. Teacher is nothing but a parent also. She has to act. The teacher has to act like a parent even also. For those children, that a special care is needed for them. The teacher has to take some actions on her, giving prizes, praising them in the classes, and later when they come into the group discussions, taking their ideas. Yes, yeah, that particular child. Yeah, what did you say that? Asking questions in the groups and particularly to that person. Like that, the child will overcome from that, and he will be able to talk in group also later on.
Yeah, because this praising words makes miracles with children actually. When we say good with particular time, the children the whole day he says, Mama, ma'am told me good today. He will be excited to do the next homework tomorrow.
Yeah, and next time if we not come to the school, why ma'am? Why didn't you come yesterday? Why have you taken leave? I've searched for you. They'll ask such type of questions also if we are absent from before day.
Yes, they'll be quite connected with the teacher as well. That was like that miracles can be only done by the teacher rather than, even if a parent says very good, they doesn't care much. I don't know why when a teacher says very good, they are quietly impressed, and they'll be next day automatically they start doing the things by themselves. So that that is possible only with the teachers, I feel.
Yes, that is possible only by the teacher. And it is a very good job satisfaction is there, not in the salary, not in the money. The job satisfaction comes when the child when we are leaving the school, or when the child is leaving the school, when they cry for us, it is a great job, teacher. The job satisfaction is much more than that.
Yes, because we also see many children. Today my teacher did not come. Today my teacher told the starting word is like my. They own the things like that in that way. Yeah. My teacher told. My teacher told. That was a great thing actually with the teachers. And as we have discussed earlier, we have multiple students in a classroom with different mindsets, different capability of understanding. So for those children, how do we create a lesson plan to make them understand equally, to make the concept grasped into their minds? What kind of lesson plans can be created over there? How can you plan the lesson plan?
Okay. Lesson plan depends upon that situation also. We have to change our lesson plans accordingly. For example, what we think is, okay, today we will go into the class. This is the lesson plan. Why we prepared for the lesson plan? We go into the class with this lesson plan, and we are going to this. We are going to teach this part here. For example, if we go into the maths, okay, we are going to take the introduction on that particular chapter. So when we enter into the class, what that is happening is the student is not understanding the previous part. If they did not understand, then again there is a change of a lesson plan. Okay, again, what we have to do is you ask the children who understands that lesson, ask them to come forward and teach it. Ask them to make them. Why? Because they can easily understand when the child friend explains it, they easily can understand what the topic is and what the concept is. So that bright student also, when we repeat the same lesson in the class, that another student who understands the topics will lose that interest in the class. So what we should not make them lose that understanding. So what we have to do is ask that particular child who understands the concept very nicely and very perfectly, ask them to come forward and ask them to teach it or to explain it. If we ask them to teach it, they feel like, oh, teaching is a very great job, so I am unable to do. If we ask them to explain it, then automatically they will explain with a proud that, yeah, teacher has asked me to explain it. Then what they will do is that the child who did not understand that particular concept, then he freely goes and he asks it that even a least doubt, and then it is in what the doubt he is having. Maybe it is a correct doubt or it is a wrong one also. They can follow. They can ask the student that they can ask his friend easily. And again, what they explained, that what the student has explained it, we have to elaborate it and have to explain again and again that concept. Then the child will understand it easily. And we have to do it in an experimental way also. Okay, you did not understand yesterday what we have done this one. Experimentally, what we have done this yesterday. Okay, you repeat it, asking the same thing again, the repeating of that. Okay, you did this one. What have you observed it? Ask the child to frame the question by himself. If knowing the answer, framing the question is better than the knowing of answer. Only when if he knows the answer, only he can frame the question. Question framing is very, very important. So when he understands the concept, then he can easily frame a question. So for that one, what we have asked it, what we told it in yesterday in that concept, frame a question, what you understand, we will come to. Again, okay, this is the question. What for that answer, for that question, what you are thinking for that answer? You have to ask the same question and same answer. What he prepared the question, you should take that question and he only have to explain for the answer for that particular question. Like that, we have to, the children, we have to make explanation by the children only, asking the questions from the children only. You get the questions from the children only. You have to get answers from the child only, in the group itself, in the class, in the community itself.
Yeah, this was a good strategy actually. So framing a question and at the same time giving their own answers is also quite, no need to look after a book for the questions and revise it automatically. Out of the concept, he will have multiple questions and he will give multiple answers with different children. So this was actually a good strategy where we can follow. By this, everybody will be understanding as well, because many people, at least if we have a 3 to 4 pages of a lesson, at least you will give only minimum 4 to 5 questions at the back of the question, at the back of the lesson, end of the lesson. But when we give a chance to the children, every paragraph will be with the multiple 2 or 3 questions over there.
Every paragraph is having at least, if there is no question to prepare, you ask them to prepare at least a blank.
Yes.
And a multiple choice question or an objective question or an objective framing of an objective question. Whatever the 2 or 3 paragraphs, you learn the 2 or 3 paragraphs and ask them to frame a question. Definitely he has to read the topic and he has to understand it. Then only he can frame the question. Framing of question is very, very important than knowing of answer.
Yes, ma'am, because these were the very good strategies actually, where like many of the teachers are missing few of these important tips and strategies how to, because this seems to be very minute, but the problems out of it are very huge actually over there. Very small tips seems to be very small. Sometimes if we know that tips, we see, no, this is a small tip, but when you implement it, it does great miracles actually.
Yes.
It reduces the whole work of a teacher. Automatically, it will be an automated process actually. It goes on, once the child is habituated to this. That was a wonderful process.
You need not ask for, you need not even ask for whole the lesson to prepare. You ask them only for 1 or 2 paragraphs itself. Automatically, they'll go through the lesson.
Yes, at least for searching of the questions itself, they'll go through the whole lesson actually. Yeah, that was a wonderful thing, ma'am, actually. And today in this session, we have drawn multiple things we have learned over here out of your experiences, how to cope up with the students, how to prepare the lesson plans equally for all the children. That was a very wonderful session, ma'am. We are very happy to have you here and at this time as well, sparing some time for the Teach Connect. That was a wonderful session as well. I hope your suggestions and tips would help many of the students, teachers, and parents as well, because these problems are quite common for the parents as well to handle the students. So definitely your tips would, yes, ma'am, definitely your tips would help many of the students and teachers. Thank you once again for coming for Teach Connect and having your expert suggestions over here. Yeah. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much, ma'am.
Definitely we'll have some other session one or the other day with most of the problems which are facing today by the teachers and all. Yeah. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Yes, definitely.
For more videos, please like, share, and subscribe our Teach Connect. You'll have wonderful messages from the Teach Connect, as well as day-to-day videos where the children are facing problems with their academics, with their curriculum, whatever it is. We'll come up with more and more opportunities for the children. Thank you. Thank you so much. Have a nice day. Signing off, Sindhu. Thank you.